Hey guys, what's up? It's Wednesday, my favorite day, but today is also September 11th, the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and I just want to kind of talk about it because I had an experience with it. I mean, like, I don't remember it because I was, what, I was like 8 months old at the time because I was born in December of 2000. So I don't remember much, but I will talk about what my parents told me about that day and all that. But here's a clip of what my what NC State did for 9/11. They placed a bunch of flags in the brickyard, and like it was really cool. I Here's the clip. Okay, and like right after I stopped that clip, a girl walked up to me and said, "Here, take this." And I was like, "Okay, thanks." So I got a water bottle and there's stuff in it. So really quickly, we're gonna look and see what's in here. A pin. Cool. Some Jolly Ranchers. That's interesting. More Jolly Ranchers. Twizzlers. Can't wait to eat those. Okay, this is hard to get out. Oh, it's one of those phone thingies. But this says College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, and I'm not in that. But whatever. And I want to know what this is. If this will come out. I don't think they thought this one through. It's like stuck in here. There we go. Oh man, I had it. There we go. Oh, that's cool. Look, you put it on your charger. That's really cool. I will definitely put the this Wolfpack thing on my charger for sure. I like that. Okay, and then I have this cool water bottle. But yeah, that's it for that. So I'm actually gonna eat my food before it gets cold and maybe do some work, and then I will talk about 9/11, what happened, like with my parents, of what they told me of what happened that day, their experience, and yeah. Hey guys, so yeah, I have different clothes on because I went and got ice cream and spilled ice cream on my clothes. So yeah, that's fun. But so what I wanted to talk about was 9/11. So everybody knows like the whole story and all that pretty much. I mean, if you don't know the story, then that's kind of on you. But so like I said, I was 8 months old at the time, so I was alive. I don't remember anything, but I had talked to my parents before, and they told me like what they remembered from that day. And my dad said, because my mom had already left for work that morning, because I believe the first plane hit at about like 8 a.m. I think it was 8 or 9, around that time. And so my dad was about to take me to daycare, and he said he was holding me and watching the news and saw it, like the first plane hit, and he was like, that's weird, but he still had to go to work, so he dropped me off at daycare, and I should have started this off by saying, at the time we were living like in the Charlotte area, so we weren't like, anywhere near what was going on. But so my dad took me to daycare, and I can't remember at what time it was, but they actually evacuated all of downtown Charlotte because once they realized that this was like a terrorist attack, they actually evacuated all of downtown Charlotte, which is where my mom worked, and sent everyone home. Or they sent the people who were working there home. I don't know if they like made the people who lived in apartments down there leave. It wasn't really like a completely like developed city. I know that there are apartments now where like some shady motel used to be. But so they actually made my mom leave work. The reason they evacuated downtown Charlotte was because Charlotte is like the banking center of the country. And so they thought that, if it was a terrorist attack, they're attacking the Twin Towers, they might come for Charlotte next. Okay, so I was just watching the clip, and I feel like something needs to be explained. This is in like real, you have to think about it, like this was in real time. The two planes had just hit the Twin Towers, and so they thought, whoever was telling people to leave work in downtown Charlotte, thought that they were just attacking big cities, because obviously the plane that hit the Pentagon had not hit the Pentagon yet. So I'm fairly certain that other big cities probably sent people who worked in buildings there home as well. But again, since Charlotte is a large banking city, they didn't know if they were going to come for Charlotte next or not. So that's why they sent people home, because they didn't want to risk it. And because they didn't know what the targets were. They didn't know what they were targeting. I mean, they weren't 100% sure, but they didn't want to risk it. They didn't want to risk people's lives. So they sent my mom home, and my mom went and picked me up from daycare, and I think went over to my dad's shop. And I think my dad said that my mom was like freaking out. And I mean, because that's scary. It's scary to be sent home from work because they think that like your workplace is going to be attacked. Like, that's scary. And the whole situation of planes hitting buildings is very terrifying. But I thought that was interesting because nobody really talks about it. No one, the only people I've heard it from is my parents, because no one really knew that they evacuated. And I like telling people this because it's interesting, it's something different. They evacuated downtown Charlotte, which, I mean, if you're not from North Carolina, you really would not understand why they evacuated Charlotte. But when you live near the Charlotte area, all anybody loves to talk about is, Charlotte was like the banking center of the country, or is the banking center of the country. And so that's why downtown Charlotte was evacuated. I keep repeating myself, sorry. But that was pretty scary. Probably really scary for my mom. And I know it was not near as scared as other people who were like the people in New York City and the people in the Pentagon and everywhere else or other places that were close to where the planes hit. I know that must have been terrifying, and I can't even imagine how utterly terrifying that was for people. And I hope that I never have to feel that scared. I really, really hope that me and nobody else ever has to feel that scared again. But on another point, what I love about American history is, and I've told my parents this, on another point, What I love about American history is just like how much fight America has in it. Like, if you look back on other attacks like Pearl Harbor, whenever I think about 9/11 or Pearl Harbor, I always think about the other. Because both instances were supposed to be fear tactics. People were attacking us to make us crumble, make us scared, and back down. And the complete opposite happened. In both instances, we rose up, we were stronger, we were unified under one goal, and we're like, we're not taking this crap, we're not scared, we're standing up because you're not doing this to us. We are America, we're united, we're not backing down. And while yes, both were very tragic things that happened, it ended up unifying pretty much everyone in the country under one goal, and showed like other countries and all over the world that like America is not one to be messed with. Because if you try, we're just gonna come back harder. And that's what I love. And that's one of the reasons why I love America. Because there's so much fight in us. We're so patriotic to the point that we're not gonna give up. That if you attack our country, we're gonna attack you, but harder. And that's kind of like a lesson that my dad taught me when I was younger, because I had a mouth on me. Okay, I just ran my mouth. I didn't care who it was to, if the kid was bigger than me, whatever. And my dad said, one day you're gonna say the wrong thing to someone and turn around and get slapped. But then he would tell me, because I was how I was, he said, as long as you don't throw the first punch and you end it, you're fine. You won't get in trouble with me. And I feel like that is kind of like how America is. We don't throw the first punch. At least in those two instances. We didn't throw the first punch. Actually, both World Wars, we were like, nah, we're not getting involved. And then it was like some kind of attack that like made us get involved. And so like, I just think that's really interesting. And it's like, we never throw the first punch, but we end the fight. I just think that's interesting. But this is a very sad day, a very patriotic day. It's definitely a day to be remembered. And yes, I know how dumb that sounds coming from me. Yes. Oh wow, Laura said it was a day to be remembered. It must be written down in history. But it's definitely one to think about and to not forget. And that's why the saying is never forget when it comes to this day. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have anything else to say.